I've spoken with every official in Ohio, Democrat and Republican, on a continuous basis, as in Pennsylvania. I laid out a little bit in there what I think the answers are. We put them together, and we will be implementing an awful lot into the legislation here, and I will be out there.
So glad that the president is finally, like a month later, coming to East Palestine, Ohio. Finally, yeah. And it's been a month since that train derailed, and he's finally getting there. Remember, it took the Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, 18 days, AKA 3 weeks, to visit the site. It took him 10 days to even make a public statement. Let's break down the timeline of the East Palestine response, shall we? Oh yeah, yes we shall. Here's the timeline. On February 3rd, the train derails. On February 10th, the EPA on the ground in East Palestine after evacuation order lifted. Now, y'all follow me? The train derailed on February the 3rd. The EPA on the ground on February the 10th. On February 13th, Buttigieg says transportation officials were on site within hours. On February 14th, White House says EPA working hand in glove. On February 16th, EPA head vows to get to the bottom of the derailment. On February 17th, Biden administration sends toxicologists to East Palestine. On February 23rd, Buttigieg calls on Trump to support rail reforms during the visit to East Palestine. What in the hell? Calling on the former president when you have the power in your hands. That was nothing but a stunt, clearly. Because if this administration was serious, and we have said this on Unbossed time and time again, one of the first things that they should have done in taking office is to look at the things that Trump enacted or took away and make them better, go even further in the right direction, in a direction that lifts and keeps workers safe. They did not do it, and as a publicity stunt, he gonna call on Trump to support why people suffer. Now I get it. You call folks out, I got that. I'm not mad at that. What my problem is that the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth concern should have been the safety and the welfare of the residents of that community. They should have been on the ground, not 18 days, but 18 minutes to show those people that they actually cared, and they left a gaping hole for President Donald J. Trump to come home to East Palestine. And the reason, Mayor, why I'm saying he came home is because he won over 70% of the vote in that community. Mayor.
Listen, this is another continuation of what I call voter suppression by neoliberals. This is not divorced from the same behavior of the governor of New York, Hochul. Biden will be remembered for East Palestine as his Hurricane Katrina moment. The idea that you're sitting out for poor and working class white people the way Bush sat out for poor and working class black people is no difference. The only thing we need is for our poor and white class, working class brothers and sisters to get off of Fox News and get on this train where we over here fighting for the betterment of all of us against the oligarchs. And these politicians aren't being held accountable on both sides of the ivory tower, not just one. And this behavior, when they're not with us in sync with people of color who have been the sufferers of everything American, when you're not saying the same thing, it makes us less powerful as a unit. And we need to join the hands of the unions and call out the unforced errors from Biden's administration, the administration before that one, and the one before that, because Obama should have had it locked up before he left office. Trump administration, of course, threw it away because it wasn't. And now Biden's administration and him are just blundering it. And people's lives are in fact. We have water that's iridescent and air that's killing people. Let's be serious.
Come on, Mayor, and the soil and fish are dying and other animals are dying. You are right about that. We do need, I'm telling you, if the working class from all identities get together, it's over, it's game over for the corporatists of both parties. And that is exactly what they know. I mean, what really like just sent me over the edge is to have, these neoliberal types say that the people of East Palestine are getting they deserve, the Joy Beharts of the world and so many others. I can't tell you how much hate I get on social media for standing up for these working class and poor white people, because this is about humanity. This ain't about their ethnicity or race. This is about the corporatists destroying communities. And what is happening in East Palestine is similar, without the race dynamic, to what happened in Flint, Michigan, what is happening in Jackson, Mississippi, in any other area where poor people dominate. So yes, if poor and working class and barely middle class, if the working class people just get together, it is game over for these oligarchs. And they know that. And I want folks to listen to, Mayor, what Republican Senator Mike Ruley had to say. He is the state senator for this area. Let's take a look.
The worst part that goes on if you live in that area is the anxiety level, because if we took a car ride through and you stay away from ground zero, the town looks exactly the same. And East Palestine's a really pretty town. It's an older town and it looks pretty much the same. But the closer you get to ground zero, you start noticing there's a smell in the air and things are a little bit different. The air just doesn't go in you the right way. It makes you uncomfortable. So I think that anxiety level is really rough as far as the people's mental health goes. But when
And you know what? The senator is absolutely right. And kudos to him. He's a freshman. And I am so glad that he's standing up for his people. He even went in the opposite direction of Governor Mike DeWine from the beginning. He said, don't drink that water. Y'all get in here and help my people. And that's exactly what he should be doing. Not siding with party, not siding with the governor. If the governor is wrong, the governor is wrong. You need to side with your people. So go ahead on Senator Mike Ruley on that. And the Democrats are flopping hard on this. They are handing the Republicans a win on a golden platter right now. Trump buying people McDonald's might be cringy, but he showed up. Him coming in there with his Trump water might be cringy, but he showed up. That is politics 101. When people are suffering to that magnitude, baby, the first thing you need to do, even before you have anything all the way figured out, is to show up. And even further, after Biden made that comment, White House press secretary Jean-Pierre said that there's no specific trip currently planned. So does the right hand know what the left hand doing? Do we know who's on first base, second base, third base? Who's running home? And that was even Mayor after the transportation secretary said that it would be too disruptive for the president to even come. Now the president's saying he's coming, and now his press secretary saying, well, we don't even really know when he's coming. I don't understand this.
I don't think they understand it, and I don't think. And what we're saying is even more reason why we need a healthy primary time this cycle. This is why we need progressives to get together. And this shirt may be a joke, but if you think about the idea of Nina and Mondale, two progressives on the ticket, all we're talking about is we need someone that's gonna highlight policies that's gonna put people over profits in a way that is serious with policies to back it up. And these neoliberals, including this administration, have not and is not doing that. So we are busy folk, Nina and myself, but the idea that we need progressives in the primary is a real thing without the party support, but those that stand up for people, for sure.
Yes, that is, and can't be bought and sold. Listen to what the mayor of East Palestine had to say.
I can repeat, he said, with the president being in Ukraine today, did that surprise you?
Absolutely, that was the biggest slap in the face. That tells you right now he doesn't care about us.
And that's what they feeling. They don't really care about us. It reminded me of the song Michael Jackson. They don't really care about us. But all of that can be turned around if they would just act and act expeditiously and stop playing games with people's lives and their livelihood. They need to act. And this would be a great time for this administration to go back and try to reverse that foolishness and mayhem they did in the 117th Congress by taking away the ability for rail workers to strike. Like the rail workers warned us, Mayor, that this was going to happen and they didn't want to listen to them. They warned us. So they should go back and take that back and force these rail barons to give those folks those at least 7 days of sick time that they asked for. They're not asking for too much and they're not reaching too high. This is, it's just chilling, y'all. It's just absolutely chilling.